Welcome back to Talk Show with Experts. Manamunnamu Rahul Reddy Gartoti. Hello, Rahul Reddy Garu. How are you doing today?
Thanks, Andy. Sorry for the technical glitch.
Yeah, sorry for the technical glitch, actually. So back to the topic, Andy. So like every week we give so much informative information for people and they call us. It's really, really helpful. Thank you for being on the show. And so I have a question, Rahul Garu. Like student visa lo, everything like OTP lo untaru kada. Like while to update their employment records in SEVP system. Is there any points you want to give about that?
Yes. Recently, ICE has indicated that if the employment has, the people who are on OPT, if the employment has not been, if their employment has not been updated, they will be sending a warning or they may even dismiss them from the service system. That means that they will be going in illegal status if they don't update it. On the OPT, a person is allowed to have up to 90 days of unemployment period. If the unemployment crosses more than 90 days, their service system will be terminated. In that way, then they will be in illegal status if it's more than 90 days of unemployment. Now, employment doesn't mean that they must be paid though. In the OPT period, even if the person is getting the training from a company, it will be considered as an employment period. So all the students who are on the OPT, we strictly tell people to make sure that the service system is updated. And if you need any help, you can take the designated student officials and speak with them and resolve those issues. Otherwise, your service might be terminated.
Okay. Sure, Andy. So also there was kind of talks like, what is this big announcement by immigration and custom enforcement about the student visa? And how is it going to affect students?
Well, previously, if the employment history has not been recorded in the service system, that's an online system managed by, that controls all the students. The ICE didn't used to dismiss them from the service. That means that they were still maintaining the legal status. But now they are going to dismiss them. The computer itself tells that, oops, this particular John Doe is not employed for more than 90 days. Let's kick him out of the country. So that automatic system will come in. So we want, I want all the TVASIA patrons to make sure that they comply and maintain their legal status. Update the employment records there.
That's really, really great, Andy. So we have our next caller in the queue. So my next caller to matladeda. Hello.
Sure.
So always press star, Andy, unmute cheyadaniki. Hello.
Star 6, yeah.
Star 6 unmute cheyadaniki press cheyalandi. Welcome to the talk show with experts. May I know where are you calling from, Andy?
Yeah, my name is Umakant. Are you able to hear me?
Okay, so Rahul Reddy Garu is here to answer your question.
Sure, Umakant garu. Umakant garu, చెప్పండి sir.
Yeah. So what happened, I got my H1 approved in 2015, December, after RFE. But we were not able to use that H1 that time. So can I use that and later, in Feb 2016?
When you say that you were not able to use, can you explain? Were you in India at that time? Were you here at that time?
I was here only, but continued on H4 EAD.
So this H1B approval came with the I-94 or without the I-94?
With I-94 with the status change.
So how did you switched back to H4? How did it work out?
Yeah, I switched back to the H4. Correct.
How did you do that? You went outside the country, came back in?
No, we applied back again for status of change and got it approved.
Did you do that after October 1st or before October 1st?
We did it after October 1st. So in December 7, 2015, I got approval for status change from H4 to H1.
Right.
And
you technically you were on H1B status from October to December because you have a valid I-94 with this company. Even though this company has withdrawn the H1B, you are still eligible to get the, you're still counted toward the H1B number Now you can use that. Even though they have withdrawn it, you can join some other company and that company can file a H-1B right now. No problem with that.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I was thinking to get it transferred to some new employer
Yes,
to utilize my H-1B.
Absolutely.
Okay. Sure.
Thanks for tuning in TVASIA Telugu channel.
Sure. Thanks, Rahul. Bye.
Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Alage, we have our next caller in the queue. Hello. Welcome to Talk Show with Experts, Andy. Always press star and 6 to unmute your call. All questions about all doubts are cleared here in this show. Every Sunday you can call us. Hello. I think the caller is waiting to unmute his call. Hello. Always press star.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the show, Andy. Rahul Reddy Garu is here. Can I know your name and from where you're calling?
Hi, this is Naveen from California. Thanks, Rahul, sir.
Sure, Andy. Over to Rahul.
Follow. Yeah. Hi, Rahul ji. So I have a question. Like my H1 extension, I have filed for an H1 extension and I'm waiting for the decision. And my driver license is getting expired. So in California, without a legal document, I cannot get it extended. So there is one more option called AB60. So whoever doesn't have a legal presence document, they can apply through AB60. But my question here is that going through AB60, will there be any consequences in my green card processing?
What is this AB60 though? I did not hear much about it. Can you educate me a little bit more on that?
There is an Assembly Bill 60. Based on that, anybody who doesn't have a legal presence documents, they can apply for it and get the license.
No, sir. You are legally. So you are legally present in the country, though. So I don't want you to make a statement that you are not legally present in this country.
Okay. So you suggest that I should not go with that option?
No. Okay. If you're since you're legally present, you don't want to make a statement you are not legally present in the country. Okay.
Okay. There will be consequences then. Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
Thank you.
Do that.
Yeah. And other thing like during what is that? So adjustment of status and all green card at the end of the stage. Will there be a check against the tax statements and for how long I have to make sure that all the statements and all?
You can go to the irs.gov. You can get all the income tax returns from past 10 years in digital format. And believe me, it took only 15 minutes for me to get it. And you can dig it from past 10 years. Pull it out and keep it with you right now.
Okay. It's for past 10 years I should be
we don't need it. We don't need it for past 10 years. We only need it for past 3 years. But get it since it's free. It's online and you're not even wasting any pages. Environmentally safe. Digital, is not that big of a deal for you guys anymore. Just get a copy of those things. It's free. Okay.
Thank you. And one more question I have. My priority date is 2015 October. Any tentative guess when can it be done?
I'm thinking that this date will move to 2011. That is my guess. I can go wrong. And I hope in your case, I will go wrong and it goes to 2015. But my guess is that it should go all the way to the end of 2011. That's my guess. I've gone wrong many times. I hope I'll go wrong this time too for you. Okay?
But otherwise, generally, roughly how long it may take?
Remember, I told you that extra 60 to 100,000 green cards are there. So that is 2011 is my expected thing, or maybe touching 2012. That is my expected thing, but I've gone many times wrong in estimating the priority dates movement.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for tuning in.
Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Alage, we have a YouTube question from Vijay Kumar Rahul garu. He says, he's asking, do you have any update on new OMB rule, strengthening of H-1B visa program? How it will be impact on current H-1B application pending?
This OMB thing came up on Friday. That's about 2 days ago. At this point of time, we don't have a copy of the rules. It is rumored that the rules for the H-1B are significantly changing. We are anticipating that these rules will be applicable after a particular date, though. So we are, since this guy's H-1B is already pending with USCIS, we are not anticipating that the changes should be applicable to him. These changes, what the Trump administration are bringing, are expected to drastically change and might have a significant impact on all the people who are going to be filing H-1Bs if they are filing with the consulting companies. This redefinition of the H-1B also might have a lot of impact in getting the H-1B approvals in the specialty occupation, even if the people are working for bigger companies like Facebook, YouTube, and other companies too. We may have a significant problem there too. Obviously, my recommendation is before this new rule goes in, if you are coming near by extension, try to get this as soon as possible. This is very dangerous rule this Trump administration is doing as a last-minute ditch effort, and it's going to definitely affect, but not expecting to affect the people whose application is currently pending with USCIS.
Thank you so much, Rahul garu. I hope Vijay Kumar garu, you got your answer. He's watching our show, I guess. And Alage, we have our next caller in the queue. Let's take the next call. Hello. Thank you so much, Rahul garu. I hope Vijay Kumar and please make sure the channel you're watching, you can put it in the mute so we have the clear conversation, Andy. Maatladetappudu. So, hello. Welcome to the talk show with experts. Can I know your name and where you're calling from?
Hello. హలో అండి, నేను రాజేష్ మాట్లాడుతున్నా కాలిఫోర్నియా నుంచి.
హాయ్ రాజేష్, ఎలా ఉన్నారు?
యా బాగున్నాను. నాకు ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఉంది H1B.
Whatever questions you have, so over to Rahul Reddy garu.
Thanks.
ఓకే. హలో.
యా చెప్పండి సార్.
నేను ఒక కన్సల్టెన్సీ కంపెనీకి పనిచేస్తున్నానండి, ఒక క్లయింట్ కి. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇంకో క్లయింట్ కి పని చేయాలంటే అప్పుడు నేను కాన్కరెంట్ చేయాలా లేకపోతే అవసరం లేదా?
ఇంకో క్లయింట్ కి పని చేయాలి. ఇద్దరు క్లయింట్స్ కి ఒకటేసారి పని చేసేటప్పుడు యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ టు ఫైల్ అ కాంట్రాక్ట్ H1B. యూ డు నాట్ హ్యావ్.
కానీ అమెండ్మెంట్ అలాంటివి చేయాలా?
అమెండ్మెంట్ అంటే ఒకవేళ శాలరీ కనుక డ్రాస్టిక్ గా ఇంక్రీజ్ అయితే యూ మే హ్యావ్ టు ఫైల్ అన్ అమెండ్మెంట్. బట్ ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎ salary and the employer is going to pay you bonus, though, quarterly bonus or half yearly bonus, then it may not need an amendment.
ఓకే. కానీ అలా రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏం లేదా? లైక్ సెకండ్ క్లయింట్ ఫుల్ టైం ఉండొచ్చా, పార్ట్ టైం ఉండొచ్చా, ఎలా అయినా ఉండొచ్చు?
Normally H1B positions are professional positions. They don't require people working overtime to get overtime paid. For example, lawyers and doctors, they don't get overtime pay. I mean, when I was working with a law firm, then if I work 80 hours, I still get only my salary though. So that's called professional positions. Typically, most of the H1Bs positions are professional positions. So a company is under no obligation to pay overtime for you. So they can employ you for 80 hours. There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, got it.
Okay, so that was a question. And Alage, we have another YouTube question, Andy, from Sai Hosuru. He's asking that, can undergraduate F1 visa obtained H4 visa to F1 visa can be used for master courses?
Sorry, H4 to F1 or F1 to H4?
H4 visa to F1 visa can be used for master courses, Andy?
Yeah, they can enroll in the master courses, of course, obviously. I think so. The question might be that that person might have moved from F1 to H4. And on a H4, can he apply in the master's quota? If the underlying degree is a master's degree from an accredited university, from a non-profit accredited university, from H4, they can apply under the master's quota. Absolutely no problem. Now, if the question is reverse, if the person has moved from H4 to F1, they're in the master's, yeah, they can still apply in the master's quota too. Either way, they can do in master's quota.
Okay, that's really informative, Andy. Thank you. And we have another next caller in the line. Welcome to the talk show with experts. Hello. Hi. Can you hear us, Andy? Please do unmute star and 6 press చేయండి unmute చేయడానికి. అలాగే మీ యూట్యూబ్ చూస్తుంటే ప్లీజ్ దాని వాల్యూమ్ మొత్తం మ్యూట్ లో పెట్టేసేయండి. So we don't have any disturbance. Hello.
Hello, Andy.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Rahul Reddy garu.
Yes, over to Rahul.
Yeah. Hello, Rahul Reddy garu. Thanks for taking the call.
Chepandi, sir.
I just wanted to get more details. See, my date is get current sometime, in a couple of months for a green card. I want, this is a new form, this I-944.
You're right. 18 page form.
Exactly. Last night I was looking into some of your February videos. There is 18 pages document, all that stuff. Just I have few. Can you please explain? This is a new thing for everybody, and we are little concerned on this, like how this is going to affect our green card process, and we need some more update information on this, and how do we file this? What are the things it needed, and how effective this form is going to be.
Well, when the form came in, obviously we were a little bit shocked, with 18 pages form. They would like to have your income tax returns. They would like to have bank records. They would like to have your credit score. And that surprises me. How can I get a credit score for a person who doesn't even have a social security number? We need a credit score for even your kid who is not, he may not have a social security number. So we found ways around. All you do is that you punch in saying that you don't have a social security number. You go to the Equifax or Credit Karma or something like that, and they will say, oops, there is an error. We just want you to print that thing out and show it to us. Then we'll say that, look, we applied for the credit score, and here is it saying error because it doesn't have a social security number. And that they will accept it right now. Income tax returns, particularly, we are a bit concerned. Sometimes people have draft of the income tax returns, and there's a difference between draft and original. Sometimes it happened that we sent the draft one time because the client gave us the draft. It turns out that the government got from the IRS a different tax return. And that looks different than that of ours. So now we are requesting people to go to the IRS and get the tax returns directly instead of giving us what you may have in your file. And it takes only 10 minutes for you to get the income tax returns from the irs.gov. So will the 944 cause any problem though? I would say that for the TVASIA patrons, normally their income level is way higher than that of the regular TV patrons. And they're mostly in professional jobs, making at least a family income of more than $60,000 a year. Normally average family income is about 50, but ours is like practically will be more than 100,000. But even if it's more than 60,000, that should not cause any problem at all whatsoever at all in getting the green card. I'm just telling only 944 though. There might be other hurdles, but as far as the 944 is concerned, it is mostly for those people whose income is less than $60,000, then they need to be more concerned about it.
Okay, yeah, my particular case, my wife, she got H4 EAD, and I applied for the credit card. I applied, social security for her, number for her. Our score is very, very low because she never worked, and and we never bothered to take a card for her.
The question is not about credit score. Are there any dues that she owes a lot of dues that she has not been paying for time? That's the one that they're looking for.
Okay. And other question is like about, see sir, like we are here like from past 10, 15 years waiting for the green card, like, rather wait, waiting for the green card, we started moving on, like buying a home, buying a cars and all that stuff. And that loans, whatever we have, for example,
absolutely, it will not cause any problem whatsoever at all. Even if you have a $500,000 loan or $1 million loan, we are not expecting any problem for you.
Okay. What about the high balances on the credit cards and having a personal loans? Does it, I mean, just to get idea if something needed to be done, we can
unless
no,
I don't think so. If you want, you can have a private consultation. I don't think so based on what you're telling should cause much problem though. I've seen people taking the credit card loans and buying properties in India. Just to note that your properties in India also will be counted towards this too. You have to show the documentation of that too. If you have not, please obtain those documents and keep it. In general though, the TV9 Telugu channel audiences, I would say that less than 1% of the people, patrons who are listening to this show will have any problem whatsoever at all for the 944. Your high credit card balance, I don't think so that should have any problem. You may have a $500,000 loan on your home. Will that cause any problem? No, it will not cause any problem, sir. As long as you meet the requirement of you're making more than $60,000 as a family income. I hope you're doing that. Can you answer that question? More
yes,
than 60,000?
My salary,
good.
140, my
oh, yeah. I mean, even if you have $1 million loan, I'm not expecting much problem for you.
Yeah. Another thing, sir, one more last question I have. The bank statements, do you need to keep both the bank statements, wife and mine, or only
yes.
the applicant bank statement?
Both bank statements. Both bank statements,
both the bank statements. Okay. Thank you, sir. I think we should not be worrying much about this.
You should not worry much. I thank you for asking the questions. These are good questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your attention. Thank you. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you for calling Talk Show with Experts. And we have another YouTube question from Lakshmi. She's asking, EB2 priority date was May 15, 2010. Is there any chances in coming bulletin about priority dates?
This girl missed out by 16 days the boat in April of 2012, just by 16 days. The priority date became current for up to May 1st of 2010. And this lady is May 15th, that's 16 days. I am hoping that she should be current in this year, that is in 2021. Now the year starts according to USCIS, the fiscal year starts on October 1st. Maybe in October, but by the end of September of 2021, I'm expecting her priority date to be current. So if you're planning to move the jobs, don't move, stay.
Thank you so much, Rahul Reddy Garu. So we have our next caller in the queue. Let's take our next call. Hello. Please press *6 to unmute. Hello. Welcome to Talk Show with Experts. అలాగే మీ యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ ఏదైతే మీరు చూస్తున్నారో దాని వాల్యూమ్ కంప్లీట్ గా మ్యూట్ చేసేయండి so that we can have a clear conversation. So before we take this call, I guess we can answer one YouTube question. Another YouTube question for Rahul Garu is Reshma. It's from Reshma Pavaskar. She's asking, I'm working in US on H1 visa since 2006. My EB2 priority date is May 2010. Can I make a FOIA request to USCIS to know what GC docs the agency has? Or is it the employer who can do that?
The freedom of information for the I-140 can be filed by the employer or employee. And Reshma, if you are planning to do it, you can do so online, and it's a free application. I strongly recommend you do it. And it takes about 2 to 3 months. Your employer won't even know you filed it. It's good to have that record. I would suggest all the people who have an I-140 approved to get the official record from the USCIS, unlike the IRS.gov giving the income tax returns. These people are backlogged by about 2 to 3 months, but you can file it online. Being an employee, you can file an I-140 application for your preparation and obtain the entire record of the I-140.
Okay, Andy. So now we are going to take the next caller. Hello. Welcome to the show, Talk Show with Experts in TVASIA Telugu. Please press star and 6 to unmute your call. Hello. Please press star and 6 to unmute and mute, Andy. Use star and 6 to unmute your call. To the show, Talk Show with Experts in TVASIA. అలాగే మీరు చూస్తున్న ఛానల్ వాయిస్ మొత్తం కూడా సైలెంట్ చేసేయండి, so we can have a clear conversation and you can ask your question and then you will get your answer. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, Andy. Rahul Garu is here to answer your question and your doubts. Over to Rahul Garu.
Thanks.
Hey Rahul, this is Naveen back again. So I have a question, like we all are paying the Social Security tax, and is there a way H1B people are on H1B visa or people who get converted to green card will be able to utilize that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you have paid, for you to benefit from the Social Security, you must have contributed for 10 years of the Social Security. It's 40 quarters. Okay. And you don't have to have a green card to get it. In fact, we have represented people who are in India and they never had a green card, but they worked here on H1B for more than 10 years. And they got their, so they are getting the Social Security every month.
Oh, okay, okay. So everyone is eligible, basically.
Everybody.
It doesn't matter where you are located.
There are some
so the condition is that
there are some rare exceptions, which most probably nobody will be falling into it, that if you live in North Korea, previously it was also Iraq, but they took it off. If you live in Iran, you are not eligible. But if you live in North Korea, you're not eligible. But if you live in India, you can. So this is a lot of people ask this question that, hey, we are contributing such big amount of money. What are you speaking about? 15%, 7% of your payroll plus 7% from your employer, approximately 15% of your money every year is going to Social Security. So when you become 60, whatever that age that is required to, you can start drawing the Social Security even if you're in India. I've written a good article on it. It took a little bit time for me to research on rnlawgroup.com. I want you to read that article. It's a very good article on it.
Thank you. One question regarding that, should it be like 10 years of continuous contribution or it can be total 10 years?
It is total 40 quarters, not continuous though. You work for 2 years, you don't work for 2 years, you work for 2 years. So the total is 40 quarters. 40 quarters is each year has 4 quarters, so 40 quarters.
Okay.
And it doesn't
is there a way
have to
I
be
can,
continuous.
Okay. Is there a way I can validate somewhere saying that I am eligible or not as of today?
Right. You can log into Social Security's Social Security office, and you can look into how many years you have been contributed. You can do that. It's easy. I have done it. It took maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and you can see the entire history of the Social Security, how many years you have paid. It's there.
Oh,
and it tells you
so
if you retire, if you don't contribute, what your status. It tells you. Please, this is free, guys. It takes 10 to 15 minutes. Very good question. Thank you, TVASIA, for asking these kind of questions. Good questions. Please go to socialsecurity.gov and then you can get that information. You have to give your Social Security number, a lot of different things, but you will get that information, sir. Online. It's available right now. You can do it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Alage, we have our next YouTube question from Sri Varsha. She's asking, is it necessary to have attorney to file AOS? What are the pros and cons of filing AOS with attorney and without attorney, Rahul sir?
I strongly recommend to choose attorney to file the AOS though. There are many things that have changed in the past 3 months. There are so many things that changed. And things are changing on October 1st, it's different. On October 2nd, it's different. The filing fees is going up significantly. For some people, it is going up by 4,000 every year, starting from October 1st. So if you can file it, I strongly recommend. But is there a particular advantage using a lawyer? No, we can't say that. The legal system is not created in that way that if just because you have a lawyer, you have a particular advantage. The only thing is that, of course, lawyer is, doing this very regularly. He has a responsibility. He does it. For adjustment of status, I strongly recommend people choosing a lawyer. Now, people may ask this question, what about for citizenship? I may not recommend people unless they have some issues about the travel things where they have traveled too much time outside the country, other than regular 2 months, 3 months visit, they go to India. I normally recommend people just file N-400 by yourself. But when it comes to the adjustment of status, I strongly recommend people going through the lawyer.
That's a really helpful answer, Rahul Reddy garu. Thank you so much. Alage, we have our next caller in the queue. So, my next caller, hello. Always please press *6 to mute and unmute. Hello. YouTube volume kuda complete ga taggicheseyandi. So we have the clear voice to discuss our questions today in the show. Welcome to the show, Andy. Hello. So I see they are finding some time to unmute their call. So by that time, I have another question already, Garu. Like, H1 extension, like if like on delays H1 extension receipts, like if somebody files H1 extension in premium on like 8/24 and have not received the receipt yet, is that normal?
Yeah, recently it has become normal, particularly the Texas Service Center has been delaying the receipt notices a lot. Because of the COVID though, there's been a lot of the contract staff that are supposed to open the mail hasn't been doing their job properly though. Recently we have noticed it. It's been common recently for the delay in the receipt notices right now, even for premium processing.
Okay, thank you, Andy. So I guess our caller is online right now. Hello.
Hello, na peru Prasad andi. Am I audible?
Hi, Andy.
Yes, Prasad.
Rahul Garu is here. You can ask him question, Andy.
Oh, thank you. First of all, thank you very much, Rahul Garu. Meer ila ma Telugu community andariki help chestunaru, all questions answer chesi. So, నేను ఒక అమెరికన్ కంపెనీకి ఫుల్ టైం జాబ్ చేస్తున్నానండి. నా ప్రియారిటీ డేట్ జాయిన్ 2015. నా ఫస్ట్ H1B స్టార్ట్ అయింది అక్టోబర్ 2015 సేమ్ ఇయర్. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ జూన్ కల్లా నా H1B ఎక్స్పైర్ అవుతుందండి. సో అది నా 6th ఇయర్. సో నా ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే ఈ జీసీ లేబర్ లో ఉన్న లొకేషన్ పర్మనెంట్ గా క్లోజ్ అయిపోయిందండి. అండ్ అక్కడి నుంచి నేను వర్క్ ఫ్రమ్ హోమ్ చేస్తున్నాను లాస్ట్ 2 years నుంచి. సో మా లాయర్ ఏమంటున్నాడంటే జీసీ ప్రాసెస్ మళ్ళీ ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ నుంచి చేయాలి, ఆ లొకేషన్ క్లోజ్ అయింది కాబట్టి ఈసారి హెడ్ క్వార్టర్స్ పెట్టి చేద్దాము, అదైతే క్లోజ్ అయ్యారు కాబట్టి. బట్ ఎనీవే ఇప్పుడు ఇండియన్స్ కి చాలా వెయిట్ టైం ఉంది. సో దెర్ ఇస్ నో నీడ్ టు స్టార్ట్ అవర్ జీసీ ఫర్ నౌ అంటున్నారండి. ఎక్స్టెన్షన్స్ కి ఓల్డ్ 140 అప్రూవ్ అయిన వర్క్ అవుతుంది యాజ్ లాంగ్ యాజ్ ప్రియారిటీ డేట్స్ కరెంట్ కాకపోతే అని. సో ఇప్పుడు నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే ఈ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ 2015 140తో ఒకవేళ నేను న్యూ ఎంప్లాయర్ స్విచ్ అవ్వాలంటే లేకపోతే నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్ ఆర్ 4-5 years డౌన్ ద లైన్ అది పాసిబుల్ అవుతుందా అండి?
Yeah, you can switch it to the new employer. This I-140 is valid for you to switch to a new employer. This I-140 is valid for you to extend the H1B. This I-140 is also valid for extending the EAD for your spouse if you want to. The only thing, as your employer lawyer has pointed out, it's not eligible is to filing the adjustment of status because that location has closed right now. So you have to file a labor in I-140. But for switching, absolutely no problem. You can use this.
సో ఫర్ ఎవర్ నేను ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ ఎంప్లాయర్ కానీ న్యూ ఎంప్లాయర్ కానీ ఫర్ ఎవర్ ఇంకా స్విచ్ అవుతూ ఉండొచ్చు ఈ 140తో.
As long as the priority date is not current, this I-140 you can use it for life.
ఓకే, ఇంకేం రిస్ట్రిక్షన్స్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయండి నేను కొద్దిగా కాషియస్ గా ఉండడానికి?
The only thing ఏంటంటే ఒక caution అండి. We don't know how the governments are going to do with the priority date. And if the priority date becomes current and you don't have a valid I-1 labor and I-140, which in this case, it's not valid for filing the adjustment of status. It's valid for everything else, but filing the adjustment of status. Now, if the priority date becomes current, what will happen? You will miss the boat. And let me tell you what, in 2007, you may or may not be in this country. All of a sudden, the immigration comes and tells, oh, everybody is current. Everybody filed the adjustment of status. It happened in 2000. So if those kind of things are where, you will probably miss the boat. That's the only worry that I have. Otherwise, as far as switching the company and all those things, you will not have any problem whatsoever at all.
ఓకే, ఇంకొక చిన్న క్వశ్చన్ అండి. సో మీరు ఇంతక మీ వీడియోస్ చూస్తున్నాను. సో మీరు మీ ఎస్టిమేషన్ ప్రకారం 2011 వరకు లేకపోతే ఎర్లీ 2012 వరకు కరెంట్ అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది.
Wait. I have gone 10,000 times wrong in estimating the priority date. I don't think so. Any lawyer can admit that he did 10,000 times wrong, but I am. So
మీ ఎడ్యుకేటెడ్ గెస్ ఏంటండి?
అదే సార్, ఎడ్యుకేటెడ్ గెస్ నేను 10,000 సార్లు తప్పు చేసిన.
అంటే అంటే నెక్స్ట్
don't believe me. No, I can't. I mean, I have gone 10,000 times wrong. Don't make me go 50,000 times wrong now.
Okay, thank you very much.
And in this case, in the educated guess, I hope I am wrong again. I'll be happy to be wrong. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for the call, Andy. It's a really nice, informative show. And alagi, we have our next YouTube question from Reddy garu. He said that, hi sir, is there any rule like the H4 emergency visa stamp folks should travel to US within 1 month? Ani adugutunarandi.
H4 or H1 emergency?
H4 emergency visa stamp folks should travel to US within 1 month. Ala edana rule unda ani.
There is no such rule that they have to travel within 1 month. But the problem is, would that be considered that you lied to the administration when you said that you really desperately need to travel to USA and now you're not traveling? It may constitute that you have lied to the lied to the State Department. You told, I need desperately go to USA, and they gave you an emergency visa, and now you're not using it. Will sound as if that you told a lie to them. Yeah. So I'm a bit worried that you should come. If not, you should discuss with the lawyer. What is your valid reason of not coming? Could it be construed that you are telling a lie? There is a possibility for it. So be careful on that.
True, Andy. Thank you so much, Andy. Now we have our next caller in the queue. Hello. Always call chesinapudu *6 press cheyandi so you can unmute your call. Welcome to the talk show with experts. Can I know your name and where you're calling from, Andy? Hello. Alage YouTube channel మొత్తం వాల్యూమ్ తగ్గించేసేయండి so we can have a clear conversation and you can clearly listen the answers and make note of it because it's a really important information. I'm sure so many callers are waiting for the answers to be heard from Rahul garu. So hello, can you hear me, Andy? I think there's some delay sometimes in the call, but hello. All right, let's jump into the question by that time. So we have a question, Andy, Rahul garu. Suresh Chan, he's asking, hi, Mr. Rahul. We have filed H1 to H4 COS for my wife along with my H1 extension on July 2020. I got my H1 approved and we still didn't go to biometric appointment. Can we get part of your lawsuit?
Sure. You can drop our email at info@rnlawgroup.com. We're going to sue the USCIS for delaying the H4 plus EAD on September 18th. The deadline to sign up if you want to be part of the litigation is this week. That's coming week in the next 4 or 5 days. So if you drop us an email, we'll send the information. You can sign up. The H4 and H4 EADs used to be approved along with the H1Bs. They stopped the practice after they started introducing this biometrics system in March of 2019. So we are going to sue the USCIS. Why did they bring the biometrics? It's only for the delay. There's no other reason for them to do it. So Reddy and PC is going to sue, and you can be a part of the litigation. You can drop an email at info@rnlawgroup.com.
Thank you so much, Andy. Let's try to take another call right now. Hello. Make sure you press *6 to unmute your call, Andy. మీరు కాల్ చేసినప్పుడు ఒక్కొక్కసారి mute లో ఉంటుందన్నమాట. So if you press *6, we can hear you and it will be a clear conversation again. Hello. I think there is some glitch in the call. So let's jump into the YouTube question and save time. So next question is from Kumar Varma Garu. He's asking, what is the priority date for EB1A, extraordinary ability category for Indians? And what are the requirements for EB1A category to file for GC?
EB1A is backlogged to 2018. I'm just punching in the numbers to look into because I can't remember the dates of the EB1A. The EB1A, EB1B, and EB1C are all put under only one category for obtaining the green card though. Right now, the priority date for the EB1A, B, and C is March 1st of 2018. We are expecting this date to be current pretty soon, only for EB1 category. It is expected to. Now, he's asking the question, the second question he was asking was that, when would the priority, what to do to get into EB1A? EB1A is for extraordinary ability. Typically, if you get an Oscar or Nobel Prize, or even if you get nomination for Oscar or Nobel Prize, you have definitely a good chance. If not, if you have good, high caliber in your own profession, it could be anything. I mean, it could be a pottery profession, it could be any profession. But in that particular profession, you must be Lata Mangeshkar. I mean, you must be like Amitabh Bachchan or something like that.
Wow.
So if you are, I mean, it can be anything. I have done paperwork for a person who makes the cement molds for Hindu deities. In that particular little field that is there, I am telling you, he is the #1 in the entire world. He doesn't even have, you know, that guy was, when he came to office, he wore slippers, I mean, the Indian slippers, and he doesn't even wear shoes. But he is talented in those things. So if a particular person is in the top of the line in that particular field, though, he will be eligible for under EB1A category. You can check the categories. There are 10 things that you normally need to meet. I don't want to go all the 10, but you can Google those 10 things. You are supposed to meet 3 of those requirements. However, when you file a case, though, when you file an application, though, I normally would like to meet all 10, if not at least 8 of them. And in each category, I would rather want to have 3 shots, not just one off. Try to see that if the person is qualified because of one reason, or the second reason, or third reason, I would like to go. So up to about 8 into 3 is normally 24 is what I shoot when I file an EB1A application.
That's great information, Rahul Garu. Thank you so much. So now we have our next caller. Hello. Let's talk to our next caller. Hello. Welcome to Talk Show with Expert Sandy. Can I know your name and where you're calling from? Please press *6 to unmute your call so we can answer all your questions and we don't have any technical problems. Sometimes it like *6 nokupote, we think that you're still on mute. Hello? Hello? Okay, so I think let's wait for a second. And meanwhile, I have another question, Rahul Garu. Like, if someone is on their extension, like H4 and their extension is still pending, will they be able to get stamping in India based on their spouse approval petition?
Absolutely. They don't have to have the H4 approval to go for the H4 stamping outside the country. The spouse H1B approval is good enough. No need to get the H4 approval to go for stamping.
That's great, Andy. Alage, we have a YouTube question from Srini. Ms. Srini is asking, I have GC and working for a financial company. I am planning to start my business with friends. Can I do that?
You are a GC holder.
Yeah.
You can do absolutely no problem. You can do so.
That's a great answer, Andy. So let's try for another caller and take another caller this time. Hello? Can you hear us, Andy? Hello? Welcome to the talk show with experts. Always please press star to unmute your call and we can clearly hear you.
Yeah. *6, guys. That's the one to unmute or mute yourself. Is *6.
Welcome to the show. Hello? I guess there is some technical problem today. Somehow.
Sure.
Hello? Okay, let's jump into another informative question. I heard there is a recent proposal that even H4 EAD can be filed in premium. Is that true? If so, when will it come in action? When will the October Visa Bulletin posted? Two questions, Andy. So, what do you think?
Let me answer. The October Visa Bulletin is expected to be posted anywhere between September 10th and 20th. That's the time period. Now, previously, we used to get the Visa Bulletin by 10th normally, though. But nowadays, they're going all the way to 20th. So I'm expecting anywhere between 10th to 20th September, we are going to get the October Visa Bulletin. As far as the H4 and EAD premium process is concerned, though, there is nothing like premium processing for H4 and EAD at this point of time. It was one of the provision in the legislation passed in the Congress, House of Representatives, where they said that they are going to introduce H4 and EAD premium processing, but that bill is dead on arrival. It's not going to go through the Senate. That's the reason why we do not expect that bill to go through and get it signed by the president of this country. So you can ignore it at this point of time. There is no premium processing or premium processing for H4 or EAD or any tangible, anything that we think so is a good proposal which is expected to pass. We don't see any proposal of that to either at this point of time.
Okay. So that's, let's try and thank you so much, Rahul Garu, for the great information on that. And let's try to take another call right now. Okay. Hello. There is some technical problem today. I don't know why, even with the starting of the show. But I have another question, Andy, Rahul Garu. I am on H1B and I have valid visa stamp, but my wife has approved H4 visa but not stamp. She can go for visa stamping or not suggested at this time because of travel ban? What do you suggest?
Oh, she can go for visa stamping. H4 is not in part of the travel ban. And the only problem, Sophia, is that that there are no visa appointments available until February of 2021. That's the only problem. But as such, there is no travel ban for H4s. There is nothing like that.
Okay. So, and another thing is, Andy, like another question is like, is there any delay in getting receipt for H1 extension in premium by any chance? Do you know what will be the project processing date for I-485 in next month's Visa Bulletin?
I am expecting the 485 dates to be definitely moved. I'm expecting priority dates for EB1 to be current. I'm expecting for EB2, I'm expecting at least to touch 2010. And I'm also expecting for the EB3 also, the final action date should touch to 2010. We are expecting for the employment-based third category, the rest of the world, I'm expecting that to be current in October of 2020. Rest of the world. That doesn't include Indians and Chinese, please. Rest of the world means it's not Indians and Chinese and the rest of the world. So that is expected to be current.
Okay, Andy. So do you think, is there any preparation, like how they should prepare when priority date comes, like become current?
They need to collect the income tax returns from past 3 to 5 years. They can go to irs.gov. They can get their birth certificate checked around. The birth certificate should be issued by the mandal or the gram panchayat or the municipality. These are the three things that are authorized. Not a 10th class certificate is not considered to be birth certificate. The hospital record is not considered to be birth certificate. So that's one that they need to obtain. Typically, when we see when we see filing adjustment of status, the most difficult thing we see is the birth certificate. But the good part about the birth certificate is that if you don't have the birth certificate, we can still file the application. We just need to provide that later on. We'll get an RFP, or we can supplement it when we can supplement the birth certificate later on. But birth certificate is the main thing that we see, which will, because they need to get I-94. I-94, you can just go online. Boom, you get it. Passport copy. Now, who will not have a passport copy? They will have a passport copy. So there are most of the information, like 5 years employment history, 5 years address history. Yeah, it will take a little bit of time for them to get it. Yeah, I would recommend people to obtain 5 years employment history. Obtain doesn't mean that you need to get an experience letters. You just need to provide the 5 years employment history. Make sure when you are providing that to a lawyer, which he is going to provide to the immigration, I want you to check your I-20s. I want you to check your H-1B approvals. Are they corresponding to it? Is there any discrepancy on those things? If you have any discrepancy, make a note of it and speak with your immigration lawyer. Try to see if you have the address history for the past 5 years. If you don't have it, try to collect it and keep it. These are the things that I recommend people to do it. Most of the other information, date of birth. You will know the date of birth. I mean, why will you not know your date of birth? So all the rest of the information shouldn't take much time, other than what I told you: the address history, employment history, and maybe the birth certificate. These are the things that we need. Medicals, we don't need it to file the adjustment of status. You can take it to the interview, so we don't need medicals at this point of time.
Thank you so much, Rahul Garu. And we have another YouTube question from Vijay Kumar. He's asking, will the S386 bill be dead if it is not passed this year?
No, it's not expected to be dead, but as we have noticed that one senator or another senator has been keep on putting a hold on it. Initially, it was the Kentucky Republican who put a hold on it. Then later on, the Georgia Republican who put a hold on. Then we had the Illinois Dick Durbin Democratic senator who put a hold on it. And now it seems to be the turn of the Florida senator who put a hold on it. Yeah, it won't be dead. The Form S386, I've been noticing this since the time I started practicing immigration law 25 years ago. It's coming in one format, another format. To an extent, in 2001, they did take the per country limit off, only to put it back to say that when the 140,000 gets into effect, though, the 7 country per country limit comes back. So previously, before 2001, the way it was that if India fills out 7%, they just used to block. Even if the other countries are not using it, they used to just trash it out. But now they are not trashing it. If the other countries don't use it, it will come to us there. However, the way the Senate 386 bill is put is that they want to remove the complete per country limit, having everybody equal status rather than having one in a better status, one in a not good status. So this is going to turn everybody into equal. Hope this will pass, but if it doesn't, it's not going to be dead. I want every person to keep on fighting for this bill that takes the discrimination off against Indians.
Wow, that's really great information, Rahul Garu. We have one last question before we wind it up. Sure. If they increase green cards in 2021, how much GC will India get? And what will be tentative for India priority date for EB2 and EB3?
First thing is that when I look into the priority dates in the Visa Bulletin, I just opened it up because somebody asked. The rest of the world is already current in EB1 and EB2 category right now. So out of the 100,000 green cards, about 28%, that is 28,000, will be given to EB1 category. When you look into the backlog of it, only Chinese nationals and Indian nationals are backlogged under the EB1 category. So most of them will come to Indian nationals and Chinese nationals. So all 28,000 should come to Indian nationals and Chinese nationals. Assuming 50-50 between them and us, we should get approximately 14,000 green cards, and all the priority dates should be current for EB1. That is our expectation. When it comes to the EB2 though, now rest of the world is current except China and India. So now when it comes to China and India, which country should they give to? India is backlogged to 2009 and China is backlogged to 2016. So out of the 28,000 extra green cards, all 28,000 should only be given to Indians. That is expected right now. So I'm expecting, based on the priority date, it should move to 2011. I can't judge exactly which date it will be 2011. That is expected for the EB2. When it comes to the EB3 though, the rest of the world is also backlogged, not to a significant amount, but a little bit backlogged. It's April 2019. So maybe out of the 28,000, maybe 10,000 will go to, maybe 5 to 10,000 will go to the rest of the world, and rest of the 28,000, that means after 5 to 10,000 goes, you still have approximately around 18 to 23,000 left out. All that should come to Indian nationals though. So we are expecting the priority date to go for EB3 also to maybe 2010 or 2011. That is our expectation. I just want to also tell all the audiences, if you want to downgrade from EB2 to EB3, just in case where the priority date becomes current under EB3 but does not become current under EB2, your employer can downgrade the application without filing a POM application at all. He can use the same old POM application and file an I-140. And here is other good news for you guys. If the EB3 becomes current, if your employer is willing to, you can downgrade to EB3 without filing a POM. All you need to do is that you have to file an I-140. You can file the adjustment of status, that is 485 application, at the same time. In other words, if the priority date becomes current for EB3 but not EB2 and your dates fall into it, you can downgrade it and file the adjustment of status in a span of 10 days. Please be prepared to ask your employer to do the downgrade.
Sure, Reddy. Thank you so much for such a great information today. It was so informative. And also, we are looking forward for next show next week and same time. And there's so many questions to be answered. Alage Rahul Garu, you have any information you want to give to the audience today at the show?
No, thank you. Please like us in the TVASIA Telugu channel. Subscribe to us. Please keep coming. We will update you with all the immigration news. If you are immigrant present in this country, you need to come to this show because we do give the current trends, what is going on, what you need to survive in this country. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much, Rahul Reddy Garu, Adandi Iroju show, and thank you so much for watching Talk Show with Experts. See you next week, same time, same place. And we are there on Dish Network, Sling, World, BBTV, and websites are YouTube and Facebook. So a questions, now you can always watch us and give us YouTube questions. We are here ready to answer your questions. Thank you so much, and tune into TVASIA Telugu. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.